Good morning and welcome back. It is 5:13 and it is a little bit foggy on this Friday morning. So foggy Friday morning indeed for some of you. And here's a look at your current visibility. Less than a mile in Murphy and Blue Ridge. And we have some pretty thick fog along the Cumberland Plateau. Here in the valley, not all that bad, but you're going to run in and out of it, especially along those riverbeds and in some of the higher elevations along bridges. So just be mindful of that. Give yourself a few extra minutes. But for the most part, it looks pretty good here in Chattanooga. This is looking north over downtown, AT&T Field on the left, the aquarium right here on the right, and it is a nice start. Not a whole lot of people out and about just yet, but that'll change because it's a Friday and people are going to want to enjoy the weather we're having. It's going to be warm, 64 in Chattanooga stepping out, 60 in Athens, 58 in Blue Ridge. Now, as we get into your afternoon and evening, we're talking mid to upper 70s. Can't rule out a few lower 80s today, and we are getting further and further into November, so it's like, what gives? When are we going to get some cooler weather? Well, at some point we will, especially sometime next week. It looks like towards the end of the weekend, or end of next week into next weekend, we could have some fall-like temperatures returning to the Tennessee Valley. But here's a look at what we're dealing with so far this month. It has been a very warm start to November. Our average high for the month, 74. Our average low, nearly 62 degrees. That's 12.9 degrees above normal for this time of the year. So it has been a very warm, almost scorching November. So we'll see how the rest of the month shakes out, but at least in the short term, we're going to stay pretty warm. In fact, I have a pretty good inkling that we're going to continue with the above normal temperatures over the next 6 to 10 days and maybe even beyond. Now, that doesn't mean we're not going to have a few days where it's a little bit cooler and feels like fall, but overall, we're looking at 14 days opposed to 2 where we'll likely be warmer than not. Here's a look at your next 7 though. 65 on Sunday, 72 on Monday, and then we'll drop down into the mid-60s Thursday and next Friday. I think that's when we're really going to start to see the cooler temperatures. And as for your temperature trend, our average high going to drop down into the 50s by next month, and by the time we get to Christmas Day, your average is right around 52 degrees. So as we take a look at your futurecast, again, a lot of cloud cover this morning. As we get into the afternoon, I think it's going to start to break a little bit, so we'll get some sunshine. Going to be dry for your Friday, but then going into your Saturday, that's when we're going to be tracking out our next weather maker. So we're going to have this front coming in from the west. That's going to give us the potential for some showers, I think, during the afternoon, potentially, or late in the evening, but it's going to be a fine cutoff. I think the highest amounts throughout the day on Saturday across Middle Tennessee. So it's not going to be an all-day washout. And some of you east and south of Chattanooga, across North Georgia, western North Carolina, could stay dry. Getting into your Sunday, the front gets a little bit closer. Still going to have some showers out there. That'll continue on and off through Sunday. It's not going to be heavy rain per se, but it's going to be overcast, gloomy, and misty. So if you do have outdoor plans, just be mindful of the weather. Probably not going to be a great Saturday. And if I had to pick a pick day of the weekend, it's probably going to be your Saturday. This front lingers into Monday morning, and then eventually by Monday afternoon, the rain finally starts to wrap up. But it's not going to be heavy rain. It's not going to be all weekend washout, but some areas, especially along the Cumberland Plateau, Dunlap, Pikeville, Monteagle, McMinnville, could pick up to an inch of rain. Those further to the south and east, closer to a quarter to a half of an inch. So like I mentioned, not going to be a washout, but there's certainly going to be some showers around, and we could use it. We're still in a widespread drought here across the Tennessee Valley. Hurricane Rafael. Let's get to the tropics. Look at this track. This is going to be pretty weird. Category 3 storm as of now, right in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. Of course, made landfall in western Cuba a couple days ago. Watch this. It's going to turn towards the northern Gulf Coast. Should Louisiana be worried? Absolutely not, because then it's going to cross back over its path and dissipate into the Bay of Campeche, just off the coast of Mexico. So kind of a weird track, but things are looking good for us. We're not going to have to worry about it. Today, 79, morning fog, partly cloudy. Tonight, going to be nice and mild, 58, but I'd say comfortable. And then looking ahead to the next 7 days of weather here across the Tennessee Valley. 77 tomorrow, 65 on Sunday, and 72 on your Veterans Day. A little bit cooler by the end of next week, so if you're ready for some fall-like temperatures, maybe, just maybe, Thursday and Friday.
This guy.
I am too.
Yeah.
Yesterday I went for a little run. It was steamy. It felt like summer.
Was it?
Humid.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
But at least it sounds like it's going to be a good weekend for the fair.
Yeah, other than some rain.
Yeah.
But outside of that.
Take an umbrella.
Yeah.
And still have a good time.
There you go. Umbrella.
And wear your boots.
Yes.
Perfect place to wear boots like that.
Exactly.
All right, thanks, Clay.